All right, so a couple videos ago, I made a video talking about how if someday I became the governor of Connecticut, I would cut taxes quite a bit. I would get rid of the income tax, and I would reduce the sales tax from 6.35% down to 5% to start. We'd see how things go from there, and then maybe we could reduce it even further. But anyhow, I had a comment that said, "Well, how would you plan to replace these funds?" I wanted to quote tweet it as my response, but I couldn't figure out how to make it work. I don't know if TikTok has disabled that functionality or what. So unfortunately, this is kind of just a generic video. I wanted it to be a response, but it is what it is. So, anyways, here's the thing. First off, I don't really think that funding would need to be replaced. When you break it down, obviously there's a lot of waste going on in the state, and that would be part of my plan, would be to reduce that waste. Whether it's through cutbacks to welfare and all this, cutbacks, not really cutbacks, but better management of like DOT workers. You know, you always see a crew of 5, 6 guys on the side of the road and only 2 of them are working. So that means the other 3 or 4 guys are just standing there and getting paid. Well, that's a state job. That's a waste of state funds. If it only needs 3 guys, 2 guys, have 3 guys there then. The 2 guys that need to do the work and the 1 guy that drove them there or something. You know, you don't need to have a full crew of 6 guys for nothing. And obviously I know there's a lot of wasted, or not wasted, but already too many taxes as it is, because supposedly Connecticut has had a surplus for the past few years now, which means if there's a surplus, that means there's extra money. The state is getting extra money that they don't even know what to use it on. And for a system that's just all about wasting and any chance that they can get, that's pretty bad when you have extra money that you can't even figure out how to waste. So, obviously, I don't think I need to worry about replacing those funds. We'll be fine. You just need to get a team that'll come in and actually do the due diligence, look at the books, look at where money's being spent, and find a better way to allocate those funds and use them more intelligently. Even if I can't find people that'll do this, which obviously I could, but if I couldn't, I'd do it myself. I have 3 degrees. I'm a pretty smart guy. I'll figure out how to manage the funds much better on my own if I needed to, just to make sure that it's getting done. So yeah, and then back to that surplus that we have. I know they always like to try to brag about this. Lamont, he's always trying to brag about how there's a surplus and it's so great and yada yada. But at the end of the day, I don't like hearing that there's a surplus. You know why? Because I think if there's a surplus, then why don't our taxes change? Why are you going to brag about a surplus? I want that money. Whatever money that I contributed towards that surplus, I want that back. I can use that money for my own personal life a lot more than the government needs it to just hold it in a bank account or wherever it's currently sitting. Even if the money is going to just sit in a bank account, I'd rather have it just sitting in my bank account where I can earn interest on it, not the government earning interest. So, yeah, I don't like hearing that there's a surplus. Sure, I don't want to hear there's deficits or anything, but a surplus is almost just as annoying, if not more annoying, than a deficit. So, yeah, I'd work to change that. And obviously, it's only going to line everyone's pockets better. How is there going to be a problem with that, with everyone having more money in their pocket? That's never a bad thing. Now, they did ask, though, how would I make the money back? Like I said, through this whole thing so far, I don't think we need to worry about making the money back. It's already there. It just needs to be used better instead of wasted wildly on all kinds of dumb nonsense. And I did allude to some things, like I said, welfare changes. I will make full videos talking about what I'm thinking there. And I'll probably get into the town workers more, because obviously there's other areas where there's waste as well. So we'll really get into that and break that down. This was just like a little preview, if you will. But another thing that I think I would attack, if you want to say that, is the tobacco, alcohol, and marijuana industries. So tobacco would get doubled. Whatever the tax currently is, double it. You don't need to smoke. Smoking's obviously terrible for you. If you continue to smoke and you still want to pay whatever ridiculous prices cigarettes become, that's a you problem. And at the end of the day, it just helps everyone else to be getting all that tax money coming in from your unhealthy habit. Alcohol, same idea. I probably wouldn't double it, because alcohol is a little different. I personally don't drink. I don't care about alcohol. I never have drank. It's not something for me, but it's a little more recreational. You know, people who smoke, they smoke every single day. People who drink, you could hold it down to just weekends. You know, hey, I'm going out with my friends. I'm going to get a little wasted. So I probably wouldn't double the tax on that, but I'd definitely increase it. I don't know what the tax currently is, but just for easy numbers, let's say it's 10%. Well, maybe we'll put it to 20% or 15%. Just raise it a little, just so then there's a little bit of I don't know, whatever the word is I'm looking for, a little bit of a dent added to that, and then it's a little more profit for the state. And then as far as the marijuana industry, I'm going to make a whole video about this. But just as a little preview, if the marijuana industry continues to exist in Connecticut and thrive like it's doing, I'm going to put massive taxes on that. It's going to be 100% taxes on marijuana. Like I said, there'll be a whole video talking about this, but yeah, so huge taxes there. Obviously, it's doing well. Tons of people are partaking in this industry because you keep seeing dispensaries pop up everywhere. Everybody seems to be high all the time. That's all you ever smell when you're driving around in the streets. So, you know what? Might as well take advantage of that. It's not, again, that's another thing that's optional. So, if everybody chose to quit these things, the state would get no money. But if you're going to continue to do it, well, what the heck? We might as well, we as a collective whole, not the government, but as a collective whole, we citizens might as well get something out of it via, taxes. So then everyone as a collective's taxes can be less. So, yeah, that's kind of my response to that. I wish I had the thing here. Maybe I can, I don't know, I was going to say maybe I could tag them, but that's not going to work either. I don't know. Anyhow, that's what I had. So, yeah, thanks for listening to this one. And until next time, have a good day.